Hello, I'm Greg Thompson and welcome to the first episode of NEAFL TV, where we'll be taking a look at all the game highlights from the Northern and Eastern Conferences in season 2013. Round one's been and gone, plenty of big results and some close games as well. Let's take a look at all the action. Round one, starting with the NEAFL Eastern Conference. A brand new home for the Magpies, footy returning to Belconnen with perfect conditions, and it was Andrew Dess who got the home side off to a perfect start.
It's a good looking kick, and that is the first goal for the Belconnen Magpies here at Kippax.
Dess with the first goal at the nest, and the trend continued with small forward Shane Harris making his presence felt in the first quarter.
Oh, he's clapping it through.
A 9-point lead at quarter time for the Magpies, and Eastlake needed to step up a gear. Ryan Brabazon causing all sorts of problems in the midfield, with Sam Mardling and Hayden Armstrong troubling the scorers.
Mardling, it's gone over their heads. That's the one he wanted. The margin is back to 10.
A 10-point lead at half-time. Eastlake's dominance continued in the third, courtesy of Josh Moody and Dan O'Connell.
That is going to go all the way through.
Belconnen, with the return of the Bennett brothers, weren't giving up, keeping within range, down by 15, heading into the last term. It went goal for goal early, but inaccurate kicking proved costly for the Magpies. Reigning Mulrooney medalist Harris was well manned by Sam Smith in the battle of the small forwards. Dean Ralston took his game to another level.
Long kick for a fly, and that is a screamer. That could be mark of the year in round one.
And split the middle, finishing the day with 4 goals. Mardling booted 5. The Magpies running out of legs, Eastlake finishing comfortable winners, and the margin blowing out thanks to a 7-goal term. The Morningside Football Club took on Labrador on a special occasion at Esplanade Oval with the opening of new facilities at the ground. A fully fit list despite a limited pre-season, the side featuring debutants Scott Clark, Ren Lovett and Joseph Dalton flew out of the blocks with a confident start. Sam Favre got the crowd on their feet with the first major of the day for the Morningside club. Labrador applied plenty of pressure, and while down by 21 points at half-time, they clawed back to cut the deficit to 1 point heading into the final term. Fraser Thurlow was the only multiple goal kicker for the visitors in their 5-goal third quarter. Morningside finished the strongest, keeping their best form until the very end. Kent Abbey, Ben McNeese and Matthew Logan all booted 2 goals each as their opponents were kept goalless in the final term. Paul Shelton and Joseph Dalton were among the best. Labrador left licking their wounds after a solid 3 quarters of football. Aspley headed south with a few new faces, including former Brisbane Lions reserves Northern Conference Premiership winner Shaney Stiller. Southport peppered the forward line and had more chances in front of goal in the first quarter, but headed into the break only 8 points up. The margin blew out in the second, spearheaded by Cleve Hughes and Joshua Baxter. But the tide turned dramatically in the third term. Nathan Clark and Robert Copeland dazzled. The home side struggled for answers, surrendering their lead up by only 4 points heading into the final term. The last quarter had it all in a low-scoring affair, and defensive brilliance, both teams could only manage 2 goals apiece in the entertaining finish. Daniel Smith, Edward Sansbury, Shaney Stiller and Ryan Matthews were among the best on the ground for the visitors, while the home side's Regan Salter and goal-kicking machine Cleve Hughes got the nod from their camp in a hard-fought win to kickstart their NEAFL Northern Conference campaign. A host of big names were missing for the Northern Territory Thunder in their first hit out in the 2013 Premiership. Typical conditions in the top end, but Broadbeach handled the humid weather nicely. Last year's grand finalists had some catching up to do in the first quarter, down by 10. Jake Greeley and Taylor Harley were accurate in front of goal.
Gathering the ball and snapping with the right foot is Haley, and Haley has kicked another goal.
The Thunder had 5 debutants lining up, including Chris Smith and David Liston. Their first taste of NEAFL footy promised to be a nervous one, as the Queenslanders kept their noses in front up by just 2 at three-quarter time.
Geary kicks on his right foot and kicks a good goal. Another one there for the Cats.
Broadbeach came to play and sent a strong message to the Thunder and the rest of the Northern Conference. A 3-2 final quarter was enough, with Thunder coach Daniel Archer saying after the match, too many errors let them down.
What is one of the great games I have seen at this very stadium.
Mount Gravatt has vowed 2013 will be a year of rebuilding both on and off the field. Their first quarter of premiership football was impressive against the Bombers.
He's looking for Dick Foss. He's in the best position to mark. Got the drop on Boone. That was good ball movement.
With both teams level at quarter time, the Red and Black responded superbly in the second term. Daniel Zufa, Chris Thompson and Joshua Veering strong in front of goal. Inaccurate kicking by the Bombers gave Mount Gravatt a sniff, but needed a strong start to the final quarter to give themselves any hope. It wasn't to be as Redland's impressive midfield got the job done, their lead proving too much. James Pennyquick was the only multiple goal scorer for the home side, finishing the day with 3. Redland looking the goods early, with Blake Brewer and Sam Pullman starting season 2013 on the right note.
Looks wonderful off the boot. Well, how ironic's on that for a game where they've sprayed 27 behinds. Zufa kicks a goal from 45 metres on the boundary.
The two powerhouses of the Eastern Conference went head-to-head in what promised to be an enthralling clash at Dairy Farmers Park. All eyes were on the reigning premiers after a turbulent pre-season with the loss of key backman Josh Bryce with a serious knee injury. While Ainsley recruited strongly under veteran coach Chris Rourke, the opening quarter was evenly matched with only 8 points separating the two sides. Queanbeyan's big men in James Kavanagh and captain Ryan Quaid led the way. The Tricolour's key personnel of Nick Payne and Marcus Crook proved there were no signs of an off-season hangover for the 2011 premiers. The visitors were in the box seat heading into the final quarter with a handy 20-point lead. Queanbeyan handled the pressure with immense class, led by 2012 best and fairest Kane Stevens. Ainsley had their noses in front for most of the quarter and were on track to take home the 4 competition points. Until James Kavanagh, right on the full-time siren, had this shot to snatch victory. The reliable veteran making no mistake against his old club, Ainsley left shattered, the Tigers with the win in a memorable showdown. To the ladder, and Morningside holds top place after round 1 thanks to their percentage, ahead of Redland, Southport and Broadbeach, while the Northern Territory Thunder rounds out the top 5. With only 2 games in the Eastern Conference, the Eastlake Football Club holds top spot, followed by the reigning premiers, the Queanbeyan Tigers. For more competition details on the NEAFL, head to the website neafl.com.au and we'll see you next week for another round of NEAFL TV.